Doom, 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 doom. What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. It's NBA Talk with Jay, man. Love to do this show for you guys. Hope everybody out there is living a nice life, having some fun, all that good stuff. If you like the show, man, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it. But join the channel as a member as well, guys. Posting pics in there overnight, all type of stuff, guys. So props, live bets, all that. Join the channel as a member, man. Golden Peaks membership. It's also showing some support as well. I know you guys have been cashing with us. I believe 10-0 last 10 plays, all for free right here on the show as well. Please show some support, man. Please join the channel as a member. But we have our guy Steve Miller here with us today on this Friday. Ton of games. Steve, how you doing, my brother? Is everything cool with you?
Yeah, man, 10-0. There's some pressure there to keep up. That's pretty damn good.
Appreciate it. I appreciate it. Now, no pressure for me. Shit. I just do what I do, Steve. It's no, I don't even like to call it a heater. Like I just do what I
Right.
do and I live with the results. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing I've been doing all season, even through the losses and the wins. I literally kept the game the same type of way. You see what I'm saying? So, but let's get to some cash today, Steve. A bunch of games, right? We're going to try to get through as much of as it's a lot of big line moves, guys. So unfortunately, there's some heavy line moves here tonight where it's like could have got a much better number. But let's go ahead and talk out these games, Steve, right? That's what we do. And then we'll get to the end. We'll get to some promos, give out best bets, all that good stuff. It's all business here on the show. If you like this show, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, join as a member, all that good stuff. First game up here, Steve. We're headed over to the streets of Charlotte in this one, where we have the Hornets getting 10 points at the house versus the Chicago Bulls in this one, laying 10 on the road. And then the total is sitting at 224 in this one, Steve. This line initially opened up at -6 or -6.5 for the Bulls. We start to trickle up 7.5. Now it's literally sitting at 10 in this one, Steve. I must say, this is probably one of the better games of the day as well. We know the Hornets have been winning as underdogs, winning outright as underdogs. They've done it three straight games. In this one, kind of feel like they run out of that look in this one, though, Steve. What do you think? Even with the Bulls moving up 4 points, do you still would lay the 10 with the Bulls here?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what's happening here, Jay. I think the odds makers priced in the current form of Charlotte. As you said, they've won 4 out of 5 as a dog, 3 straight as a dog in a row, including its 12 and 9-point dogs the last 2 games, whereas Chicago's lost back-to-back games, but also as an underdog. So this is a huge step down in class for the Bulls after playing the LA teams 3 straight, having Philly 2 out of those in Portland. They played Portland, Philly twice, the LA teams 3 times in their last 6. So this is a huge step down in class. I think the game was mispriced at the opener, and I do like Chicago even at the inflated price here.
Yeah, I'm with you. I could only look towards the Bulls in this one. My top looks in this game, guys. Like I say, I'll be honest. Like I wanted the 7 with the Bulls. I really don't want to give out the -10 when it was at -7. I do think this game could get ugly, and I expect the Bulls defense to show up here as well. So what I'd be looking at is the Bulls laying the spread and the Hornets team total under. Obviously Dennis Smith Jr. is questionable in this one. Excuse me. I know Hayward is doubtful, but Dennis Smith Jr. obviously is a big piece for them possibly here. But I'd be looking at the Hornets team total under. I think the Bulls. Obviously they need a win. They've been playing some really good defense as well, stifling type of defense. So Bulls -10 and the Hornets team total under would be my top looks in this game. But like I said, not going official with the Bulls -10. But I couldn't talk you off there, Steve. I do think they can win this game by 15 points if they come in here, come to play as well. Bulls should be able to get this job done here by double digits. You could go with the Bulls or you could take Hornets team total under. Couldn't talk you off either one of those, guys. Let's head over here to the streets of Washington here. Washington, D.C., that is. Wizards getting a point here at the house versus Orlando Magic. Steve, the Magic were literally at +4 yesterday, man. I went to sleep last night. It was at +2. Wake up this morning, it was 1.5s, ones popping up, man. So it must be some steam coming over here for the Magic in this one. They did just beat the Wizards not too long ago. I believe that's when they still had Beal and Kuzma as well. So kind of looks like the Wizards had packed it up. They did just get a big win from by the Boston Celtics in the last game. Do you think the Wizards have a letdown here? Or do you think they keep it going once again? Or can the Magic keep their 7-0 against the spread streak going in this one?
Yeah, by the way, Chicago is holding on to that 10th spot right now, and the Wizards are 2 games
Mhm.
behind them. So Chicago's 2 games up on the Wizards right now for that 10th spot. So Washington is still alive, although they haven't been playing necessarily like it. They have won 2 out of 3. They've covered 3 straight, though. So they're starting to heat up. But the hottest team in the NBA, and the reason this line dropped, in my opinion, Jay, is because the Sharps especially have been making a lot of money with Orlando the past week or two. This Magic team has not failed to cover in 7 straight. They're 6-0-1 ATS their last 7. I actually used a free play on wagertalk.com the other day. My free play on Tuesday was Orlando +7 against Memphis. They covered. They only lost by 5. They just keep sneaking within the number. They keep playing hard down the stretch. I think that's why we've seen this line drop.
Yeah, and I'm right there with you, man. Like I say, they did just beat them a few games ago. They beat them 122-112. So in theory, you do get some quick revenge. But like I said, they had Bradley Beal in there. He went for 16 points. And they also, so we got to see what's up with Gafford as well, because I know if Gafford's not in here, guys, I would recommend a play on the Magic in this one. This is a team that already didn't have a ton of big guys, right? So they got Porzingis, and other than that, no real big guys if Gafford is out in this one. So that's an injury to keep an eye on here as well. We know Beal is out for sure. We know that Kuzma's out for sure. Then Gafford is questionable with the foot in that one. But the Magic have been playing out the season. They've been playing really great. 7-0 against the spread last 7 as well. They did struggle. They're 5-2 ATS last 7 meetings in Washington as well, guys. So it was crazy because they were getting owned by the Wizards. They had lost 7 straight games versus the Wizards. Finally got over that hump and beat them in the last game. I can only look towards the Magic minus the one in this one. I say lost a ton of value from it opening up at +4. It was +2 last night. Sitting at -1 now. Would have really liked to get them on the dog money line like that +105 last night. But I'd still lean the Magic here minus the 1. That's the only way I could look. And you get the element of the Wizards might have a letdown coming off their Super Bowl type of win versus the Celtics in this one. So keep an eye on that Gafford injury. If he is out, I could recommend a play on the Magic here. Magic -1 is the only way that I can look in this game. And I would like to lean towards the under as well here. I'd like to lean to that under as well, Steve. The Magic offense isn't the same on the road, but they're always going to play great defense as well. You just never know what you're going to get from the Wizards. So I'd be looking at Magic and under in this particular game, guys. Let's head over here to the streets of Indiana here, guys. We have the Pacers getting 4 points at the house versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. And this one is crazy, Steve, right? These are going to be moving all day. SGA didn't look like he was going to play. Then now he's upgraded to questionable literally right before the show. It was at -2. And I was kind of leaning towards the Pacers at that. But with SGA in, that kind of tells us that the Thunder are trying to play here, right? So now they're laying 4 here, Steve. What do you think happens in this game? Maybe look at an over, or do you think the Thunder get it done in this one?
Yeah, the Thunder right now are 1 game ahead of Dallas for that 10th spot for the play-in round. They're half a game behind LA for the 9th spot, 1 game behind Minnesota and New Orleans for the 7th, 8th spots. So obviously 6 games remaining for a lot of these teams. Some teams only have 5 games remaining, including Oklahoma City, just 5 games remaining. Obviously it's crunch time here, and I think they're looking at the schedule here and they're thinking this is a winnable game because they've got Phoenix, Golden State, Utah, and Memphis on deck to finish those final 4. So I think there's no question, Jay, as you said, they're playing to win this game. Let's keep in mind, they've been the most profitable point spread team in the league the last 2 years combined.
Damn.
But at some point, the odds makers start to catch up, and it looks like maybe that's the case here, as OKC has not covered any of their past 5 games. At best, they're 0-4-1 against the spread those last 5. The problem is Indiana might not be able to do anything about it. They've been a machine as far as losing money. 1-6 against the spread their last 7. So 2 teams that are really struggling from a point spread perspective. Indiana, by the way, is still in the mix as well, but they're in that 12th spot right now, and they're 3.5 games out of the 10th spot in the East. So game looks like it's more important for Oklahoma City Thunder, and I think they're probably the more reliable team.
My guy say, "What am I drinking?" My guy say, "Am I drinking beers on the show, man?" That's funny as hell. This is and no promo. They ain't pay me no money, but I do like that bold ginger ale. That shit is fire. It's hard to find too. That is the shit right there. But I'm telling you, it's like a double dose of ginger in there, man. That's the bomb.com right there. But this game, like I say, I really was just thrown for a whole loop because I was thinking SGA was going to be out. It seems like the Thunder kind of mailed in the season. They're 0-5 ATS last 5. I mean, they lost the game versus the Hornets, right? PJ Washington went bunkers in that one. And then they had to win a game winner versus the Detroit Pistons. They were about to lose that game, man. So it looks like they were kind of sort of shutting down SGA for the season. Now he's upgraded to questionable. I was leaning towards the Pacers here. Literally right before the show started, they upgraded SGA to questionable there. So that throws me off in this one. Obviously, you need to see what's up with Miles Turner as well. The Pacers defense is absolute ass without Turner in there. No rim protection whatsoever. So maybe if SGA plays, I would look towards the Thunder, but this is not a game that I have a super strong feel on. Like I said, if SGA sits, that tells you all you need to know right there. Then I mean, you look at Pacers or nothing. But if he plays, then it could only be Thunder or nothing. It's really that simple in this one. And couldn't talk you off the over as well. See what's up with Miles Turner if he's out. The Pacers games usually always go over. And also the Thunder as well. They don't really have much paint protection, guys. That's why you see guys like PJ Washington going bunkers versus them in that one, man. So tough one for me. I don't even have a lean on that game, to be honest with you. Let's head over here to the streets of Philly here, guys. We have the Sixers laying 5 at the house versus the Toronto Raptors. Guys, I need somebody to let me know what is Joel Embiid's points and rebounds in the chat. If you guys don't mind, let me know what that prop is. But Sixers here laying 5 at the house. They do have the MVP of the league over there on their team, the Philadelphia 76ers do, laying 5 at the house versus the Raptors in this one. I did see Tobias Harris got downgraded in this one. It was at 6. And man, this shit last few weeks of the season, Steve, you never know what's going to happen. But what are you looking at in this game, my guy?
Well, I mean, first of all, what a loaded division, right? The Atlantic and the Eastern Conference. The Raptors are currently the 9th seed in the playoffs, and they're 5th, dead last in their own division. So 5 of the top 9. And that's, of course, because the Nets are still in the 6th spot overall in the conference. Everyone feels like the Nets are no good anymore because they lost everybody, but they had such a good record to start the season. They're still in the contention as well. So important game for both teams because Philly's still trying to catch Boston. They're 2.5 out in the East of the Atlantic. Both teams have been excellent against the point spread for the most part in recent weeks. Philly, though, is starting to falter. This is a team that's covered 7 of their last 10, which looks good on the surface, but they're just 2-2, 3-3 ATS their last 6. So they're starting to come back down to earth. Toronto, meanwhile, though, has covered 6 out of 8 ATS. I think that's one of the reasons we've seen this line drop a little from 6 down to 5. Raptors could be a live dog in this one.
Yeah, that's a good point as well. And I was kind of reading some. I hope the Sixers don't start losing games on purpose, but I did see something that they would probably rather be the 4 seed. They do feel like they match up a lot better versus Milwaukee Bucks. But this is the whole thing, though, Steve. If the Celtics could flip and get the 1 seed, that's still not out of the question here. So I'm not sure what the Sixers want to do. This is going to be something to keep an eye on, guys. Y'all know I love my conspiracy spots, especially when a team is going to be tanking or trying to win to get a certain spot. This shit is gold, man, because like the odds makers won't really base a line based off that. And so the Sixers could tank some games down the stretch. If it's looking like the Bucks get the number 1 seed, the Sixers want the number 4 seed. They feel like they have a much better chance in the second round versus the Bucks than they do versus the Boston Celtics, guys. I'm just telling you what the beat writers say in this one. So, but y'all know me, this game isn't national TV, but I expect Embiid to go bunkers once again, man. I know last game he only had 25 points. Really wasn't a good game for him, but I like Embiid to go for 30 and 10 or 30 and 15 every single time he's out there, guys. Joel Embiid will win the MVP. That's my official play for today, for this game, and for today. It's my only official play. Give me Joel Embiid to win MVP. I know you can get minus 105 at DraftKings, my guys. That's the best price right now. When I told you the other day, it was at plus 115 and plus 125. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think we're going to see pluses anymore for Joel Embiid. I think minus 105 is as best as it's going to get from now until the rest of the season. I would like his points prop tonight, man. 32.5. That's what I saw. They're saying it's up to 33.5, and then points and assists as well, guys. So that's what I will be looking at. I mean, not points and assists, points and rebounds for Joel Embiid in this one. I think right now they don't even really care about winning or playing winning basketball, and they're getting out of the way for his rebounds too. That's what I'm noticing. So I'd like to say Joel Embiid over what they're saying, 43.5 points and rebounds. I think that's probably my best bet in this game. But like I said, the only thing I'm betting is Joel Embiid. My guy say he liked the rebounds. Yeah, he should get 11, 12 rebounds as well, man. He getting clamped by the Raptors. I don't know, man. I don't know about Jakob Poeltl putting Embiid in the clamps, man. I think Embiid might get 20 shots in this game. He's going for 35 and 11 in his sleep in this one, man. So I'd be looking at Joel Embiid points over and points and rebounds over, or you could just take the rebounds over. I don't care what happens with the spread. I want Embiid to be the MVP. That's my main focus right now, guys. Let's head over here to the streets of Cleveland right here, Steve. We have the Cavs laying 3.5 at the house versus the Knicks. This line was at 6.5 yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. I know I saw 5.5 for sure. I'm a bit surprised that it's come down to 3.5. I know that Brunson is back in this one, Steve, but I could only look towards the Cavs in this game, and hopefully they get Allen back here, Steve. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I saw it as high as 5.5 at some of the offshores overnight yesterday as well, so it's definitely moved down a full basket here towards New York. These are two teams also still fighting for positioning. And you brought up a good point real quick about Philly. My take is that, it's not necessarily they're tanking, but if they don't know what they want, then why would you risk your star players, right? So I think there'll be extra load management in that situation, which could lead to them underperforming. So excellent point, something to keep an eye on. Same thing here with both Cleveland and New York. They're currently in the 4th and 5th spots. So you figure, what do they want exactly? Of course, it's a situation where you don't know who you're going to end up getting in the first, second, third round, but it does look like these teams might end up playing in the first round. And we see this a lot in the NFL preseason. Sometimes you don't show everything. Maybe that'll be the case tonight. We'll see if it is the case. I'm not sure exactly how you cap this game. These teams have played 3 times earlier this season, way back in October. I don't read much into that, early December. But the recent meeting at the end of January, still a couple months ago, New York has won the last 2 after Cleveland won the first. It's been a tight series, and I think that's probably one of the reasons we saw this line drop a little bit towards the dog.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I still feel like the Cavs are going to want this one more, though, my guys. My guy says, "How do I just join to be a member?" The link is in the description below, my guy. But so the Cavs won the first meeting this season. Then the last couple, the Knicks have won. See what I'm saying? So I feel like the home team is going to win every single one of these games this season. Like I said, Cavs won the first one at the house. New York won the last 2 at their house. Now without Julius Randle, I know they got Brunson in this one coming off 2 straight wins, but I'd like to take the Cavs here. I think the Cavs are the right side in this one, my brothers. Cavs -3.5 is the only way I could look. I would lean their way first quarter as well. They did come out in the last game. I know they did kind of come out well though versus the Hawks, but the Cavs at the house are a different beast in my opinion. Coming off that loss as well, they have double revenge. I think the Cavs are going to turn up in this one. My leans will be Cavs in the first half. Cavs first quarter. You know what? I lean Cavs in the trifecta in this one. If they get Jared Allen in this one, guys, I will be on the Cavs. If Jared Allen is in, I'll probably be on Cavs first quarter and in the full game. Obviously, the line will move. You got to be quick. But I think this will be a Cavs type of game, in my opinion. They're 4-1 ATS in their last 5 games. 5-2 ATS in their last 7 as well, guys. And they had won 4 straight before that close loss to the Hawks. And remember, they had got down like 15 points. They never went away, and that's even without Allen. Allen comes back in this game. I will be on the Cavs in this one. I'm leaning their way first quarter and full game. Only could look towards the Cavs in the double revenge spot in this one, my guys. Let's head over here to talk about those Hawks. Let's go to the streets of Brooklyn here, guys. We have the Nets getting 2 points at the house versus the Hawks in this one. It was Nets -1 yesterday, Steve. Why do you think the line moved to the Hawks here on the road that don't play any effing defense?
Yeah, these are two teams that are tough to trust right now, right? I mentioned earlier how Brooklyn is still 4th in the division, 6th overall in the conference, and how misleading that is, of course, because it's from the earlier season wins. So this is a team that, talk about who you want to play in the playoffs, right? I think everybody would love to be the 3 seed to play Brooklyn as if they remain the 6th seed. I think they're going to probably fall. They still have 6 games remaining, I believe, and they're 1.5 out of the play-in round between 6 and 7. So I think they probably fall to the play-in round. They don't even make the playoffs, is my prediction. But we'll see what happens. 2-6 straight up their last 8. I think that's one of the reasons, Jay, we've seen money coming in Atlanta. I think it's more that nobody wants to play Brooklyn.
Yeah, no, that's a good point there. Yeah, I don't know about I hadn't looked that far into it, to be honest with you, but I could only so what are you saying? You saying that because look, where are the Cavs right here? You saying
Cavs are 4th. They're 6.5 ahead of Brooklyn. Nets are 2.5 ahead of Brooklyn in the 5th. But I think Brooklyn continues to fall, and right now Miami is 1.5 back. Atlanta's 3 back. See, that's another reason this game is huge, because Atlanta right now is in the 8th spot. They're 3 back. So this would close that gap to 2. Yeah, I think Brooklyn most likely does not. I think Miami probably ends up in the 6th. That'd be the team that catches them.
Yeah, that's it, man. He got problems right now.
I know, that's the thing, though. There's no good choices, right?
They got big problems, man. And my problem here is that the Hawks don't play a lot of defense. Can the Hawks? I'll be honest. I lean the Hawks here, guys. I'd like to take the Hawks in this spot. The Nets are still the better defensive team, though. I know they don't really have a ton of rim protection, but even the perimeter defenders, they can guard Trae Young. They can guard DeJounte Murray as well. It's all about will Capella go. Like Capella has the biggest advantage for the Hawks here, in my opinion. And guys like Kongu coming off the bench as well. They have the advantage there, but just the Hawks just don't play enough defense for me, bro. But like I say, the Nets, they hadn't looked as well as of late as well. But me trusting it, I'll be honest, guys, their last game kind of told me I don't really want to be trusting the Hawks, man. This team, they can have a lead and they just can't keep the lead because they don't play enough defense, man. It's a scary team to back on a night-to-night basis, guys. They were what you would call an unreliable team. It's mainly because their defense. And Trae Young doesn't really play winning basketball as well, guys. So I'd like to lean towards the Hawks here. Me asking them to lay points on the road versus a team that I think can at least still play some defense, I don't want to do it. I lean Hawks here, guys, but I'm not forcing the plays. You know what I'm saying? So if you're looking for a play on this one, I could only play the Hawks full game, but I'm not forcing a play on this one, guys. It's just not what I'm about to do, man. So I could only look Hawks, heavy lean that way, but I'm not backing this team laying 2 points on the road, my guys. The defense is just horrible, my guys. I'm sorry, man. Let's go over here to the streets of Boston here, man. Man, the Celtics took care of us last night, Steve. We got the Celtics here laying 9.5 at the house versus the Jazz. It was 13.5. Now we see Tatum, Brown, and somebody else pop up on the injury report, game time or some shit like that, Steve. What are we doing with this one? Do you think the Celtics even care about this game? Obviously, they need to win. If they want to try to get the number 1 seed, they have to win out, and they'll need a few losses from the Bucks. But they probably feel like they can win this game even without their guys. Do you feel like someone sits in this one after a 41-point Smack City spot?
Yeah, if I was to just tell you big picture that they're going to play almost be a double-digit favorite at home in a non-conference game after winning at Milwaukee the night before and going to Philadelphia on the road the next game, you'd be like, wow, this is a terrible letdown sandwich spot. But the thing is, they don't play at Philly until next Tuesday, right? So they're going to be off for 3 days after this one. It is a lone home game after a short road trip, but it might not be as bad of a spot as it would sound on the surface just because they do have 3 days off after this. If you're going to go ahead and play your guys, why not do it and then let them rest for the next 2 to 3 days? So that's the only thing that gives me a little pause for concern. But on the surface, it's not a good spot for the Celtics sandwich between the impressive Milwaukee winning with Philly on deck.
Yeah, no, the only reason why I'm off this game because the Celtics just lost to the Jazz. They lost 117-118. That was a game that they led by 8. I'm not sure if it was the one that they led by 18. I'm pretty damn sure that was the game that they led by 18 points, guys, and then pissed away that lead. They basically, so they led it by 19 points, 53-34 in the second quarter, and they let the Jazz. They basically let their foot off the gas. Jazz came all the way back and beat them there. So that's the reason why this gives me trepidation. And I know that the Celtics need to win every single one of these games, but the guys popping up on the injury report tells me that I want no part to this game. I know that I wasn't. You could always see a letdown as well when you get so ready for a game versus the Bucks and come out there and play really well. You could have a huge letdown in this game, but I still expect them to win the game. But just obviously with the injuries, man, it's a really tough one to call because I still feel like they could play their guys, get this shit over with quick, first quarter, first half, and then rest the rest of the game. But they do have revenge in the back of their minds. They just lost to the Jazz not too long ago, guys. So I'm definitely not laying 9.5 with them in this spot, but wouldn't be surprised if they still covered it. Like, even if they sit some guys and then the backups come in there and cover this shit. You see what I'm saying? So, like my guy is saying in the chat, he say, man, if it's a trap, this is a trap. Celtics going to roll them. It could be, bro, because the Celtics, when they get hot and hitting their threes at the house, they can blow out anybody, guys. So wait for that injury report. I still feel like if they rest one of the guys, they might still be able to get it done there. I'd still lean Celtics there, even though they're not in the best of spots, guys. And the over as well. Jazz have been playing defense. They can score the ball, though, guys. It's over to probably the game of the day in this one, Steve. The winner will be sitting in the 7th seed. I think that could be huge for the Lakers in this one. I'll be honest with you guys, though. When I was looking at the game the other day, I'm like, the Wolves might get this one. The Wolves can hang with the Lakers, guys. I'll tell you that. If I'm betting this game, I only want the Lakers, but I'll be honest, the Wolves can hang with them. They have some defensive matchups. J.D. McDaniels, Rudy Gobert down low. They can make it tough for the Lakers in this one. And D'Angelo Russell coming back to his own stomach grounds. D'Angelo Russell and Jared Vanderbilt, but Russell got traded literally this year. So both of them did, but still, Russell was the one that he was like a problem over there to the Wolves. He might have some extra in his sleeve here, Steve. This is a really tough game. I want to take Lakers here plus the 1, though. How you looking at this one?
So Lakers are a team, I know you love a good conspiracy, right? And the Lakers are a team I do not want to get in front of right now because I think the league would like to have them in the postseason. And so we're going to have to see who the officials are. Scott Foster was refereeing that game about a week ago. 40-some fouls called against the other team. Or Lakers had 40-some free throws. Even more fouls were called probably. But, it's a situation where I'm a little apprehensive to get in front of the Lakers for that reason. That also favors the over, I think, in Laker games in general if you're taking that approach. And don't look now, but the Lakers have gone over 2 straight in 3 of their last 4. Minnesota was on a nice overrun of about 4 straight, but they've actually gone under their last 3 all on the road. One of Rob Vino's favorite angles, extended road trips, play against the team first game back home. Minnesota played 6 out of 7 on the road. They just got back home. And by the way, that one home game in between, they won by only 1 as a 5-point favorite against Atlanta. They did fail to cover that game. So not a great setup for Minnesota here. They also have Portland at home before they take back to the road next week. So could be a little bit of a flat spot for Minnesota. And the Lakers, if the league really wants them in the playoffs, are a team you probably have to be backing right now.
Damn, and then Scott Foster reffing this game again.
Is he? Oh man, that's all I needed to hear, Jay. Boom, bank it.
Damn, man. I don't like to look at shit the easy route, but damn, I want to take the Lakers here, guys. I do want to take the Lakers. I do think that's the best bet in this game. Like I said, the Wolves can match up well with the Lakers, but then you tell me they got their ref in there. We know that they want them in that 7 seed, probably. You see what I'm saying? But I appreciate you, Jay, in the chat, man, for that tip, my brother. But oh boy, I want to take Lakers here, guys. I want to take Lakers. I hadn't got there yet. But I do think the Lakers are the right side in this game, guys, to be honest with you. But like I say, the Wolves can ball, guys. They can ball. This is not going to be an easy game for the Lakers here. I know they've won 4 of the last 5, even without Naz Reid. This Wolves team is loaded. They can ball. They got superstars over there. I don't think Conley is a good matchup here, but Russell going to want to eat him for lunch. But McDaniels, damn good defender. They got Karl Anthony Towns back. And they're going to be swapping them like as the centers as well. What do you think about the under here, Steve? Because I feel like this will be a playoff style game right here. I'm looking at Lakers and unders in this one. What you thinking?
Yeah, but see, the problem is if Foster does what Foster did the last week, it's a ton of fouls and free throws. That obviously helps the over. But this, by the way, is the primetime game on NBA TV at 8 Eastern, too. So he'll be under the national spotlight as far as any funny business. But yeah, that's what kind of gets me waffling on the total. I agree. It's a playoff atmosphere game. You've got teams that are fighting for the playoffs. They're half a game apart for the 8-9 seed right now. Yet the Foster factor concerns me if there's extra fouls and free throws like there was last time he reffed them. So Lakers side is probably the safer play for that reason.
Yeah, and the Timberwolves have covered 6 straight games versus the Lakers, guys. They've beaten them 5 out of the last 6. So that's the reason why, it's Lakers or nothing for me. I just want you to understand the Wolves have been a really good matchup for the Lakers for whatever reason, man. The Lakers, the LA Lakers actually come from Minnesota too, man. Just quick little step for all you super youngsters like 18, 19, 21. If you didn't know, they used to be the Minneapolis Lakers, my guys. But I do think the Lakers win this game. Hopefully Scott Foster is in there to help out the Lakers. I do need the Lakers to make the playoffs, guys. So Lakers, but I look, Steve, like he over there betting it right now.
Locking this stuff in, man. We're gonna get this Scott Foster factor before the line moves. See, I hadn't seen that he was in yet. So I appreciate you telling me that, and it'll be interesting to see where this line moves because it was pick'em. We've seen a couple -1s out there. We'll see if the Lakers +1 holds. I think Foster's a legitimate concern.
No, I'm right there with you. And LeBron questionable as well. When he gets upgraded to probable, you know that the line's going to flip as well. Yeah. The double revenge on the season. I can only look Lakers here +1, guys. I hadn't bet it yet, but I do think Lakers +1 is the right side in this game, guys. Let's head over here to the streets of Houston in this one. Not much for me in this one. I don't even know who wants to win this game, Steve. Rockets laying 6.5 at the house versus the Pistons.
Yeah, one thing I'll point out quickly in these type of matchups, we get 2 really bad non-playoff teams the last week or two. One of my favorite angles for decades has been to look at the over, and it's a filter, right? We don't just blindly play it, but usually you have very little defense. You mentioned the playoff intensity maybe with Minnesota and LA. I agree with that on the other side of the coin. But when you get 2 really bad teams like this, it's kind of over or nothing for me. These guys are all great offensive players. They're looking to pad their stats also, and that would be kind of the setup for this game.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I don't care about. I would actually take the underdog in this one, man. I want no parts of this game. I don't even know if the Rockets want to win. If the Rockets wanted to, they could tank this one and let the Pistons get one more win than them as well, man. I'm not laying 6.5 points with the Rockets right now, guys. It is Marvin Bagley's birthday, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe look at his props, but also they could have went out last night in Houston as well and had a little fun, man. So really tough game for me. I want no parts of this game, guys. Let's head over to the streets of Memphis here. We have the Grizzlies laying 5 at the house versus the Clippers. Excuse me. I could only look Grizzlies first half here in a duplex spot, in a home and home situational spot. I usually like to look at the team that lost the first game in the first half, especially when they were the favorite as well. They will get Triple J, Tyus Jones back in this one as well, and Bane as well here, Steve. And Kawhi is probably going to play, guys. So if you do like the Grizzlies, go ahead and wait on this one. Wait till Kawhi gets ruled in. He's not going to miss this game. See what I'm saying? But I would lean Grizzlies first half here, Steve. How you looking at this game?
Yeah, the Clippers have been an interesting team. I thought picking up Westbrook was going to hurt them, and it definitely did out of the break. They, I think, lost, 5 straight after the All-Star break with him in the lineup, and then they kind of learned to play with him. He started playing smarter. The less shot attempts he took correlated to them starting to win. He's been mixing himself back in more in recent weeks, but I think there's a nice balance there with L.A., and it's been shown in the results. After those 4 straight wins, they did waffle a bit, but this is a team that's still going 8-3 their last 11 straight up, and I believe they're also 8-3 ATS in those games. So it looks like they're starting to click. Memphis, meanwhile, playing excellent basketball as well. 7 straight wins until that loss against the Clippers. And this is what we always talk about, Jay, that quick turnaround revenge situation. So I think that favors Memphis here in the rematch. And the first game, extremely high scoring. I usually like to take a contrarian look at the total as well. So Memphis and the under, probably the way to go in this one.
Yeah, I couldn't talk you off. The Clippers do still need these wins, though, guys. That's why I'm telling you. I know that Kawhi is going to play in this game. In theory, the Grizzlies are in the kind of set in that second seed, so that does worry me a little bit. But if I'm betting this game, I can only look Grizzlies in the first half, but it's not a game that I'm going to bet. I actually wouldn't be surprised if the Clippers did get them once again, especially with Dylan Brooks over there talking all that shit. See what I'm saying? So they're going to get their 3 best players back, but Clippers going to get Kawhi back as well. Clippers are probably the deeper team here. I wouldn't be surprised what happened in this game. When that happens, I stay off, but I definitely couldn't talk you off that under there, Steve, especially with Jaren Jackson, the defensive player of the year, coming back in that one. 3 more games here, guys, and we're going to get out of here. Man, it seems like every single team plays today. Blazers getting, except for the Bucks and Ellen after they got smacked up last night. Blazers getting 14 at the house versus the Kings in this one. Steve, simple. I do not want Blazers for the rest of the season. I really got to stop even mentioning them on the show, because we know it's fate the Blazers or stay off the game. Steve, do you think the Kings rest anybody tonight?
Well, one thing I want to mention, it's good that you bring up rest here and how it's a huge schedule. It's not a coincidence, right? Only 2 games last night. We have 13 games tonight. And then because of the Final Four weekend, these teams are getting some extra rest, because only 2 games tomorrow on Saturday, a big card Sunday, but then nobody plays Monday. I mentioned the Celtics don't play again until Tuesday, and that's because there's only 2 games tomorrow, no games Monday. So other than the Sunday card, it's a pretty light, weekend. So that is another reason you could say maybe some of these teams play more guys tonight, or maybe they play a little bit harder. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously the injury reports later in the day, even before tip-off. Sometimes use those in-game lines. It's a great reason to wait sometimes so you see who's out there and use an actual live betting line, or right before tip-off, play the game. These last few games are interesting, though, because they're all huge numbers. All 3 of these late games have double-digit spreads. So the sports books are going to have some huge liability on the money line parlays. Whether it's, Sacramento -14, Golden State -18, Phoenix a 10-point favorite over the Nuggets, who are shorthanded. This line looks a little pricey, but Portland is sitting everybody. They're making no effort. Once again, I think that could actually lead to an over. I know a lot of people think that's an under, but once again, these backups are still college all-stars, and they can score. And I think they look to pad their stats in that situation. It becomes a kind of a playground game.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you, man. I want no parts of this game. I can only look at that Blazers team total under. They might not get to a 90 points once again. Obviously, the Kings pretty much cemented in that third seat over there. They might start resting guys, Fox, Sabonis. They hadn't really done it so far this year, but I can only look towards Blazers team total under. I don't care who plays for the Kings. This Blazers team is horrible. I shouldn't even really be talking about them on the show, guys. So Blazers team total under. That's the only way that I could look in that game. Let's go over here to the streets of San Francisco here, Steve. Warriors land 18 points at the house versus the Spurs in this one. Total sitting at 242, my guy.
Yeah, obviously, I don't think it's a question who's going to win this game. It's just how much they want to win by. By the way, I had Golden State as a best bet for my clients at wagertalk.com the other night in that New Orleans game. Never in doubt. 8.5-point favorite, win by 11. They gave up over 60-some at the half. They were losing by double digits. I chalked that one up as a defeat. And the Warriors still came back, just monster second half. They've now been off for 2 days. They're off again tomorrow. They play at Denver Sunday. Obviously Golden State's very strong at home this year, 31-8. So as I mentioned earlier, Jay, this will be one of those money line parlays everyone's using. I don't see them losing this one outright, but winning by 18 or more is a big ask. And what do we do with San Antonio? This is a team that's not only lost 5 straight, but they're 0-5 against the spread, and they've been a 13-point dog or more in 3 of those 5 and still not cover. Just an ugly game. My contrarian nature wants me to take the Spurs here, but it's probably a game to pass on.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I'm contrarian as well. I'm still not going near the Spurs, and
Right.
I'm not laying 18 with the Warriors as well, who sometimes could work for the books, guys. So, no, I'm not. I'm not playing this game whatsoever. I actually like to see where the money is right before game tip as well. I'd say if greater than 70% of the money is on the Warriors, I wouldn't back them to cover. But I do. I want to take any money with this? With the? Do you want to take the Spurs here? Probably not. They could easily lose by 25 in this one, guys. Last game up, man. Bunch of games today. Suns laying 10 at the house versus the Nuggets. We're not sure who's going to play in this game, but I could only look towards Suns, and I think KD will have a lot better game here, Steve. How you looking at this one?
Yeah, I mean, at least the initial odds, the point spread here as of Friday afternoon is telling us who they think's going to play. Right, Phoenix will have guys. Denver will not, obviously, being a 10-point road dog. And it becomes tricky. This is a Denver team that last night lost by 19 at home as a favorite against the Pelicans, and now they're playing on the road without rest. And by the way, as I mentioned, they got the Warriors back at home on Sundays. So I think the odds makers are kind of assuming this is a take off the night type of game for Denver, and that's why we see Phoenix as the big favorite.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I can only look towards the Suns in this one. I look at KD points as well, guys. Like I said, it doesn't look like. I mean, they already said that Jamal Murray is unlikely to play here. I believe they downgraded KCP, and Jokic is still questionable here as well. So Nuggets don't really have a ton to play for. Basically locked in the one seed. I know me personally, I'd love to see Jokic sit this game out, guys. I would love to see that, man. But let's get out of here, man. Let's recap the freak picks, the best bets as well, guys. I do want to let you know we still obviously baseball just started yesterday, guys. But we do have you can still download the MLB guide over there.
Play ball. Hot off the press, handicappers from Wager Talk, Sports Memo, and the Gold Sheet have collaborated on the 2023 Wager Talk Media MLB betting guide. From World Series odds to regular season win totals and everything in between, this year's betting guide features previews on all 30 teams, all 6 divisions, and season-long awards like the Cy Young, MVP, and Rookie of the Year. Each preview contains key roster acquisitions and departures to help you get up to speed before opening day. Visit wt.buzz/MLB23 to download your free guide, and we'll see you in the batter's box.
See you in the batter's box, Steve. We know you're doing plenty of MLB over there, college basketball, NBA, all the good stuff. Let the people know what you have going at Wedge Talk and any best bets for the show for us today, my guy.
Yeah, thanks, Jay. I always love being on the show here. Thanks for having me on. Baseball did start yesterday. In fact, I joined Wager Talk 3 years ago. Nobody's won more in MLB totals. I'm number 1 ranked the last 3 years in MLB totals. So baseball is a great moneymaker. You don't have to watch the games, people. Just put the bets in. It takes 5 minutes and you cash in the long term. It's a grind. I get that, but it's a great moneymaker for that reason. NCAA Final Four tomorrow. I've got 2 strong best bets for both games. Went 4-0 sweep in the Elite Eight last weekend. Check out Wager Talk TV on YouTube. I've got a Final Four preview up there right now. And I've also got a baseball video talking about the rule changes and which teams are play-on teams this year for that reason. So check all that out at wagertalk.com. Steve Merrill and Wager Talk TV. A couple free plays on the way out here. Let's play on LA and let's play against LA. Lakers will get some calls with Scott Foster tonight in the Laker game, the primetime game on NBA TV at 8 Eastern. And then we'll fade the Clippers. We'll take the Grizzlies in a quick turnaround revenge spot after they lost at home just a couple nights ago. LA had a huge 3-point disparity in that game. So we'll take the Grizzlies and we'll play the Lakers in the other one.
I couldn't talk you off neither one of those guys. Embiid MVP is supposed to be my best bet. I can't believe, guys, it was still at minus 105 this morning at DK. I'm telling you this, guys. Apparently it's up to minus 125 now. So the best number is going, but I still like Embiid to win MVP, guys, minus 25. But the heavy leans today, guys. Like I said, I don't love a lot on this card. Bulls, Hornets team total under in that one. Embiid points and rebounds over in that one. Lean the Magic as well. I'd lean the Hawks, lean Cavs first quarter and full game. I lean Grizzlies in the first half. Lakers -1 for the full game. And that's about it. And I do lean the Suns as well, guys. But I might get there with the Lakers, to be honest with you, man. But I hadn't bet anything yet. But Embiid MVP. I know that's my best bet of the day right there, guys. He's winning the MVP. I'm telling you this, man. Joel Embiid is winning the MVP this year. It's nothing guaranteed, but I do think you see this price moving that way as well. And I also think he has to continue to build his case. He has to keep trying to at least try to go for 35 and about 12 rebounds every single night. So if you want to take Embiid's points, just points alone tonight, or points and rebounds, I do think they'll cash tonight. But yeah, it's hard. It'll be probably hard for me to stay off the Lakers tonight, guys. I do think Lakers is the right side in this one, man. But appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. Let's get this cash. We will win. Always shop around for the best number, guys. There's literally apps that show you. You can just type in what's the like MVP odds, and then you can go and see what's the best book to bet it at with the lowest odds, guys. Don't bet a -130 when a -125 is out there. Don't bet a -25, -125, or -115 is out there, guys. So we're always trying to win. We're always trying to maximize our ROI as well. I appreciate everybody for tuning into the show. Hit the like button, subscribe, man. We will win. It's Us Against the Bookies, guys. Let's get some cash, man. Or we out. Join the channel as a member as well, man. Be posting overnight picks, live bets, weekend plays, all that type of stuff, man. Let's get this cash, man. We're out. Let's go.